All right, let's talk about one of the most important and, let's be honest, most mysterious systems in your entire home, your HVAC. By the time we're done here, you're not just going to be a homeowner. Nope, you're going to be a home detective.
You know that feeling, right? That moment of pure panic? It's scorching hot outside, the air inside your house suddenly feels thick and heavy, and then it hits you. The AC is dead. That feeling is a universal nightmare for homeowners. But here's the thing, it's not random. It's actually the final clue in a much, much longer battle.
That's right. Every single day, your home's HVAC system is fighting a silent war. It's under this constant assault from invisible forces. We're talking heat, humidity, dust, all kinds of debris. And understanding who these enemies are, well, that's the very first step to protecting your home and your comfort.
So, to really see these forces in action, we're going to look at a sort of case study from one of the absolute toughest environments for any HVAC system out there, a humid, subtropical zone. The challenges a system faces here are a perfect illustration of what your system is up against, really no matter where you live.
First up, the big one, humidity. See, in really humid places, your air conditioner has to do two jobs at once. It has to cool the air, sure, but it also has to pull gallons and gallons of water out of it. All that extra work, the dehumidifying, puts this insane amount of stress on the key parts, like the compressor. It's basically like forcing your car's engine to redline for an entire season. It just gets worn out.
Next up, the environment itself literally fights back. You've got pollen, leaves, cottonwood, all of it gets sucked into the outdoor unit of your AC. This gunk coats all the delicate little metal fins on the coil and it blocks the airflow. It's literally suffocating the system. And if it can't breathe, it can't get rid of heat, which forces it to strain and, you guessed it, overheat.
And this one might surprise you. Even the ground your house is built on can be an enemy. In places with a lot of clay in the soil, big changes in moisture can actually cause the ground to shift around. It might not be much, but it can be just enough to move your foundation, which in turn can bend, stress, and even crack the ductwork that's hidden away in your walls. And that means you're losing a massive amount of cool air.
Okay, so what this all means is that your system doesn't just fail out of the blue. It's actually been sending out distress signals for a while. The trick is just learning how to read those clues. So let's dive into our little diagnostic guide and figure out what it's trying to tell you.
This chart is your decoder ring. So, for example, if you see a layer of actual ice on your indoor coils, that's a huge clue. It often points to something simple, like a dirty filter that's blocking airflow. Or what if you see water leaking inside? Well, that's probably a clogged drain line. If the system is running but the air just isn't getting cold, chances are your outdoor unit is just filthy and can't breathe. And if it won't turn on at all, that could be serious, like a totally failed compressor from all that overwork we talked about.
So you've played detective, you've decoded the clues, and you realize you need to call in a professional. For a lot of us, this is where the anxiety kicks in. What's going to happen? What should you expect? What does a good service call even look like?
A professional process, a good one, should be all about transparency. So, first, when you call, you should get an immediate answer and a realistic time for when they'll show up. Second, the technician should find the exact problem and then give you a firm price for the repair before they touch anything, no surprise bills. And finally, after they do the fix, they should run your system through a whole cycle, just to prove to you that it's working properly again.
But what about the biggest, most expensive question of them all? Sometimes a repair is so pricey, you're left wondering if it's even worth doing. And this is where you're faced with a really high-stakes financial decision.
So that's the question, right? Do you repair your old, struggling system one more time, or is it finally time to just cut your losses and invest in a brand new one? Answering this question wrong can easily cost you thousands of dollars. But thankfully, there's a super simple formula to help you decide. It's called the $50,000 rule. All you do is you take the age of your unit in years and you multiply it by the cost of the repair. If that number comes out to more than $5,000, replacement is almost always the smarter financial move. The logic is simple. You don't want to pour good money into old equipment that's probably just going to break down again soon anyway.
Let's make this crystal clear with an example. Okay, let's say your system is 12 years old and it needs a repair that's going to cost $500. So you multiply 12 years times $500. That gives you $6,000. Since that is over the $5,000 threshold, the rule is telling you that even though the repair seems cheaper right now, replacing the whole system is the smarter long-term financial play.
So, let's bring this all back together. Think about where we started, that moment of panic, and look where we are now. You've gone from being a homeowner who's at the mercy of their system
to being a home detective who's armed with the tools to actually protect it. That's a huge shift. You now have a complete detective's toolkit. You know how to spot the threats in your own climate. You can read the warning signs your system is sending you. You know exactly what to expect from a professional. And maybe most importantly, you've got the $5,000 rule to help you make those tough financial decisions under pressure. It really just proves that knowledge is your best defense. But when it comes right down to it, the best detective work is always prevention. This quote really says it all. Regular maintenance, that's what stops a tiny little issue from turning into one of those catastrophic breakdowns in the middle of July. It's the secret to keeping your system out of the emergency room.
So, I'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Your home is always talking. There are subtle clues, little signals happening right now. The real question is, after everything we've gone over, are you ready to listen?